Cornell, who's more in trouble, Arsene Wenger or Arsenal as a whole?
You know what, Mo? I'm forever the optimist, to be honest. And I really think it's too early to say that they're in trouble, especially after yesterday's performance in the Champions League against Fenerbahce. The game against Aston Villa could have happened to anybody. A very, very harsh sending off, very, very harsh penalty. You know, anything can happen when you think about games like that. If you're chasing the game, one of your best defenders missing, it's going to happen. What can I say? But I don't think they're in trouble, and they're going to bounce back.
I think Arsenal fans are equivalent to Montreal Canadian fans. You know, if Arsenal were to lose another 2 games, fans would be off the bandwagon saying, Wenger's got to go, get rid of this guy, get rid of that guy. They didn't spend money here and there here. But the latest rumor that has come out, though, Karim Benzema of Real Madrid, do you think he could be the next target for Arsenal moving forward?
I think he is one of the next targets, actually. Not just him. Angel Di Maria, of course, the left winger at Real Madrid. He's also a target right now. There's quite a bit of action going on. Yohan Cabaye from Newcastle. They're looking at very, very closely right now, but I think Newcastle want $20 million for him, which is a little bit more expensive than what I expected. Rumor has it Matthew Flamini might be going back, and he's in advanced talks right now as we speak. So he might be a new face, an old new face, we say, going back. So they're addressing certain things. Right now, I think they're short of a centre back, especially what's been happening with Vermaelen and with Koscielny recently. So, the next 12 days are going to be telling. I'll tell you what, Mo, one of the things that's very, very difficult for Arsenal right now, if you look at things, has been they only qualified as a qualifier for the Champions League. Top players want to play in the Champions League. They want to play on the biggest stage in the world right now. Okay, so Arsenal haven't qualified for the Champions League outright for the group stages. Now they've taken a big step in the right direction by beating Fenerbahce in the away leg 3-0. So therefore you have to say advantage Arsenal at that point. So it's going to make bargaining much easier for them right now. Players, if you're a top player, you're going to watch a team's going to ask you, come play for us. But you know what? I don't know. Let's see if you guys qualify. They won't say it, but that's exactly what's on their mind.
We're in conversation with Cornell Mans here on TSN Radio 690, breaking down the soccer talk. Cornell, though, would you agree that if Wagner and Arsenal were to sign a bunch of players, it would ease the tensions with the fans in the club?
It would, but the thing is that once you've signed these players, there's an air of expectancy. He went panic buying the last time, when he bought Cazorla and quite a few other players. He spent quite a bit of money on 5 players a few seasons ago, right before the transfer deadline, and it took them a bit of time to bed in. They bedded in. The last 11 games of the season, I think they went unbeaten, I do believe. So anything is possible. We'll see what's going on, and I think they've got a nice crop of youngsters coming through.
Are we getting close with Gareth Bale going to Real Madrid?
I think we're very, very close. I think Gareth Bale might as well just pack his bags and go right now. And he should. If anything, he should definitely have his plane ticket already.
But I look at the British export from Britain to Spain, especially to Real Madrid. Aside from Beckham, not many have succeeded playing at Real Madrid, though.
No, absolutely. Remember Jonathan Woodgate rode the benches, played about 2 or 3 games. Same thing for Michael Owen. There's quite a few players. I remember once there was another guy that came from West Bromwich Albion many, many years ago. He was the only real successful player. Beckham did very, very well. I must admit, he played very well. He held his own. But right now, to go to Real Madrid as an English player, Steve McManaman, he did okay, but don't forget, of course, Bale is Welsh, but as a British player, sorry about that for all the Brits out there, as a British player, I think Bale could more than hold his own right now. Benzema possibility of going to Arsenal means for me that Real Madrid are also really, really looking closely at probably signing Suarez as well, too. So you might see both Suarez and Gareth Bale going there.
Continuing with the Real theme, how big of a blow is it that Xabi Alonso could be out for the early part of the season?
Huge, absolutely huge. He's very, very integral into that midfield for Real Madrid. What's good in a sense, if you look at the La Liga right now, it's always a 2-horse race. I don't think they're going to play Barcelona too early in the season, so that's something that they'll be okay. I think they'll survive, but really at the same time, the tighter match, the top four teams or the teams that are vying for the top six, they're going to make life difficult for them, but I think they'll get over it anyway.
We're in conversation with soccer insider Cornell Mans here on TSN Radio 690, breaking down the soccer talk. Other news and notes in and around the world of European soccer. Jose Mourinho, of course, they're set to play Man U on Monday, but do you think he's playing a mind game with David Moyes with the whole Wayne Rooney situation? But now it's being reported by ESPN.com that Man U wants to get Juan Mata. So is this a mind game angle or is this legit talk?
Tell me a time in Jose Mourinho's life he's never played mind games. This is his specialty. This is what he's known for. This is what that irks other managers and rubs them the wrong way. And at the same time, this is what people love about Jose Mourinho. This is what he brings to the table. Yeah, he's playing mind games, and I think what he's doing actually is being very respectful actually, by not talking about transfers, linking him with Wayne Rooney right now, especially they're playing. Probably after the game, we'll see what's going on. Who knows? He might want to sort of send messages to Wayne Rooney across the bench while he's there, or say, "Hey, I want to talk to you," right in front of Moyes. You never know. We'll see.
Hey, you think though that Rooney is going to stay, because it appears from all the reports being mentioned that Moyes is not going to want to sell Wayne Rooney, and that he could very well be a backup to Robin van Persie on that squad, and he's being convinced by many other Man U alums to stay at Old Trafford than go for the money at Stamford Bridge.
Well, that's a very good question. But you see, the thing is, if you look at people like Van Persie, it's only the last 2 seasons he's had full healthy seasons. He's done well on both seasons. He started off a blistering pace already. He's played 2 games and he scored 4 goals. If he keeps up this pace, hey, he'll be rivaling Messi and his record that he had a couple of seasons ago. You never know. Don't forget, Van Persie is 30. All right, will he be playing every game? Chances are no. But they've already started off with the Charity Shield. You're going to be Champions League. They got FA Cup, League Cup. There's going to be lots of games that's going to be played this season. The build up to the World Cup, these guys are going to be super, super busy. So, for Rooney to go to Chelsea right now, it's kind of tough unless he's going to unseat like Torres. He's going to see quite a few other players in that front line. Will he get in that front line and do well? We'll see. Depends who's going to be supplying him. It depends what position he's going to play. But I really, in my gut, feel he's going to stay with Manchester United.
We're in conversation with soccer insider Cornell Mans here on TSN Radio 690. Most impressive team after the first round of European action?
First round of European action, as in the Champions League, or just like
everything, domestic, Champions League, you name it.
Well, first of all, you can't sort of overlook the 7-0 drubbing that Barcelona handed out in the first game. That's definitely impressive for me. But if you look at the Premier League, I've definitely impressed with, believe it or not, Aston Villa. Go to Arsenal. Nobody expected them to come back with a 3-1 win. Go to Chelsea. Nobody expected them to push Chelsea that hard. At the same time, I think they were actually robbed playing against Chelsea. They should definitely had a stonewall penalty against John Terry. They definitely should have had Ivanovic sent off for elbowing Benteke before he scored the winning goal. So they had them against the ropes, and they could have easily ended up with 6 points out of a possible 2 games against Chelsea.
You know what, Cornell? When you look at a manager like Paul Lambert of Aston Villa, I think he will get hired by a bigger club or a mid-major club, because what he's done at Villa, he beat Liverpool on the road last year, beat Arsenal week 1, almost beats Chelsea on the road as well. It seems like he has that magic needed to be a successful manager, whether it is at Villa or elsewhere.
I think so too. I didn't really so rate him at first when he first moved over. I was like, that raised my eyebrows a bit when they took him over. But right now, he's showing his worth, especially after the first 2 games. I think anybody who goes to Villa Park this season is going to find it a tough challenge to play and win there.
Finally, Cornell, 3 games for pick on here. We'll go with La Liga first. Espanyol against Valencia. Who do you have?
I'm going to go with Valencia. I've always been a fan of Valencia. Sometimes they've let us down over the years, but they've been very, very shrewd in the transfer market this year. So I look at them beating Espanyol.
Lazio Udinese.
Lazio Udinese, another team that's been shrewd in the transfer market, Lazio, but for some reason I think they're going to take a little while to gel first before they actually sort of spring a few surprises. So I'm going to go with a draw there.
We have Man U, Chelsea. Who do you have and why?
Well, first of all, playing at Old Trafford, David Moyes' first big game against a top four club. You're going to see him play there. So this is going to be his first baptism of fire, as we say in the football terms. Has all the makings of a great game. Both teams have done well. Technically, Chelsea are top already because they've won their first two games, but only just. All depends on who plays. If Rooney plays in that game, that's going to be very, very interesting to see how fans react in that game and where his head's going to be at. Personally, I don't think they will play him. It's going to be interesting if they do play him. But to cut a long story short, I actually see Manchester United winning this 2-0.
That would go a long way in saying the first shot towards Chelsea in the long chapter of this European football season here.
Even though I still think Chelsea are going to come out champions, though, don't forget.
It could very well be. Remember, 4 or 5 years ago, Liverpool had less losses than Man U, but Man U still won the Prem. So it could be like that as well this year. And again, we don't have a clear-cut favorite, as we spoke about last Thursday going into the season. Cornell, thank you very much. Enjoy the soccer action. We'll speak to you next week.
Well, it's always a pleasure, my brother.
As always, take care, pal. You can follow him on Twitter at AFC Cornell. Coming up next on TSN Radio 690, Sports Center Update with Jim G. Mo Khan. Hour number 2, we'll do an AFC training camp tour of the East Division. As well, Dennis Bernstein of the Fourth Period Magazine, get his thoughts on Douglas Murray signing with the Habs and what he thinks will happen with Henrik Lundqvist moving forward. Stay tuned. This is TSN Radio.